So I'm here with Christopher Lally, the co-founder and animator for Adhesive Games for Hawken. And Chris, man, I just give our viewers here just a little bit of insight, I guess, into the idea behind Hawken, because obviously mech games, there's been a lot of mech games out there, but I'm sorry, man, nothing's been out like this. After playing this game, it's nice to see a true mech game finally come back. So what was just, I guess, the mindset behind making this game?
Oh, thanks. That's good to hear. We basically wanted to make a mech game that you felt like you were in a mech, but was more accessible to a first-person shooter audience. Something that was action-based, quick and responsive, but you're still controlling a big metal machine, and that was basically our goal, was kind of merging the simulation mech games with the Japanese arcadey style of mech games, and finding something that appeals to everyone. Yeah,
because I mean, typically now a lot of mech games have you see cut scenes and they're quick, the mechs are moving, but then when you're actually in the mech, it's just slowing down. You're kind of this slow lumbering machine, and I mean, Hawken is the complete opposite of that. I mean, hearing you guys saying that you're bringing kind of first-person elements into it, the shooter elements that people are familiar with, it clearly bleeds into the gameplay, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure. And we do that partially by the movement speed isn't that fast, but you have a fuel gauge where you can boost left and right and boost forward to move faster, and you have to manage that. Do you want to get somewhere faster, or do you want to have your fuel for a battle where you can dodge? So that's part of how we kept it fast and slow at the same time.
Now what we had here, what we just played, was 3-on-3 deathmatch, team deathmatch. What else is coming to the table? Is there anything you guys are announcing so far? Or is that pretty much just going to be...
Well, there's my favorite mode is actually, deathmatch is fun to just jump in and kill people. Right. My favorite mode is actually siege mode, where it's objective based and you're collecting resources on the map that you bring back to your base. And when you get enough resources, you launch a battleship, which goes and attacks the enemy base. And then it becomes like an escort of the battleship versus the enemy trying to blow up your battleship. And there's a really cool dynamic and different objectives. So even if you're not the greatest FPS player, you can help out your team.
You're still able to help out. Right. Now what about just going free to play? I mean, obviously on the PC, that seems to be the trend. Yeah. I mean, a lot of games now are going free to play on the PC. Why does it work for Hawken? Why did you guys go that route?
I think there's a lot to be said for just how many games are going free to play. It's you can offer a lot to your fans that way, just by being able to release a game that that's constantly evolving, that you're updating based on feedback from the community. You also, it keeps developers honest, because you have to play a game that people want to play. They don't pay money for it, so there's nothing tying them to the game. If it's not good, they're not going to play it. Yeah. But we liked it because it would broaden the user base. It's a multiplayer only game, so we need the numbers there to keep the game alive. If there aren't enough people playing, you can't get a good match. So free to play offers no barrier for entry. It lets us just keep kind of evolving the game and making updates and stuff like that. That was really appealing to us.
Right. Now, obviously, being a full multiplayer game, I mean, not that I'm looking for some sort of story, but what's going on in the world of Hawken? I mean, there's got to be some sort of basis for why these teams of mechs are fighting, right? I mean, what's going on here in the world of Hawken? Can you reveal that, or is that still, we need to wait for that?
I can talk a little bit about that. Like you said, it's a multiplayer game, so there's no campaign mode where you're a story's unfolding. But one thing we're trying to do is flesh out the world through other forms of media, like our graphic novel we're creating, and we're doing some live action shorts. So you'll kind of get bits and pieces of the setting in the world through those other forms of media. The basic premise is, in humanity's future on a different planet somewhere, and multiple planets actually, there's this battle for resources between different corporations that are mining the planets, and different factions. There's squadrons of mechs that maybe aren't aligned with corporations, but they have their own agendas, and you're on one of those sides basically fighting for resources and survival.
Now, is that something that you pick a faction and you're kind of locked into that faction, or is that something that you can pick at just on the fly every time you join the game?
It's probably going to be a little bit of both. I think we like to offer the players the flexibility of choosing teams that they're on and stuff, but if you want to be loyal, you can. So I think it's something we're probably going to work out more when we get more feedback from the community and go from there.
All right, well, I just want to remind everybody, 12-12-12. is the release date for Hawken, and obviously Christopher is here. We're absolutely loving the game. I mean, all of us have played it. The game is fantastic, so be sure to stick into Game Insider magazine here and keep up with Hawken, man, because the game is great. Chris, thanks for joining us, man. Thank you. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here with Mark Long, the CEO of Meteor Entertainment. Mark, how are you, man?
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
Good. Now, Meteor Entertainment, tell everybody just a little bit about you guys, man. I mean, this is the first game you've ever published, and dude, hell of a game to pick to be your first game, right?
No kidding, no kidding. So I saw it on YouTube just like everybody else, freaked out over it, had to be involved, contacted Kang Lee, the visionary genius right over there behind the title, and we had to make it our first title. We're going direct to consumer, free to play, 12, 12, 12.
Awesome, dude. Free to fight, right? Isn't that the...
Yeah, you are free to fight. Yeah.
Awesome. And now, we did actually just get some hands-on with the game. Now, you haven't really fully announced yet some of the microtransaction basis of it, right? I mean, obviously it's free to play. There's got to be something built in, right? Is there anything you can spill out to some of the viewers out there? I guess kind of what that's going to entail. I mean, is it going to be able to keep somewhat the balance of the game or what?
Oh, yeah. Dude, you can't be pay to play. That's bullshit. Right. So it's all about customization of your mech, and you can earn your way by grinding and playing and winning. But if you want, like me, I'm a pussy. I just want to buy my way up, level up. No, seriously, it's designed so that a small percentage of players that do customize their mechs by pay for everybody else.
Right.
Which is
awesome,
cool.
Awesome. Now, we see over here, I don't know if anybody has seen this, hopefully people that are watching this have seen it. We got the MechFu Mecha controller. Now, I guess the best way to describe this, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, is the old Steel Battalion game. This massive, if you're a fan of mech, if you're publishing a mech game, you got to know Steel Battalion, right? But, I mean, tell us about this thing, man, because honestly, like the game itself, not that there's minimal controls, but it's pretty basic. I mean, but the fun of the game is there. But what is this controller going to do for folks? Is it more just an immersive experience you're going to get out of it, or what?
Oh yeah, this is my buddy Edmund Shern. This is his company out of Singapore. He's just like you and me, loves Steel Battalion, was as much a dork as we were about that thing. Only he designed one a million times better. It's just gorgeous, man.
Awesome. Well, Mark, we appreciate you guys bringing mech games back, because it seems like mech games have kind of been out of the way for a while. So let me thank you very much, sir. Thank you for taking some time with us.
Yeah.
And check us out a little bit later, man.